Hey guys, just wanted to give an update on how things are going. So things are moving along. Adeline has been cleared to walk with her left AFO, which is just a brace that we put on and to wear shoes. So she is allowed and can walk with us now. We have to hold her hand, but that's progress. So it's nice to be able to hold her hand and walk around the hospital. We've really only walked from the couch to the bed right now, which is about 5-6 feet, but they've cleared us to go ahead and walk more distance with her, so that'll be fun. And she's excited. She's doing a lot better, being able to stand on her own, and so she's excited that that's been the progress. Ellie is now she's laughing more consistently and in context, which is good. So brother had her cracking up yesterday, doing different things, and he was just making her laugh. So it's nice to see a little bit of Ellie in there. It's an odd thing to go through this, and the expectation or just the unknowns of everything is difficult, because we want answers. We want to know what's going to be the progression, and no one can really give us that right now. It's everyone says it's very complicated, and it's different for everybody. Takes different durations, and the recovery is different. We've been following another family who went through a similar ordeal with their son, who was a bit older than Ellie. I think he was 14, and just kind of it's one thing I've come to realize in this experience is that the window that where the bed is, where I sleep in the girls' room, it looks right out to where the helicopters land. And for the past few nights, helicopters come and land on the pad, and they're bringing someone in. And that's where Ellie and Addie were 3 weeks ago. So just to know that sometimes you feel isolated and alone, and this is kind of like your whole world. You almost forget that there are other people that are dealing with this exact same thing all over the world. So the exact same pain and suffering with the traumatic brain injury, but beyond that, just there is a lot of pain and suffering in this world, and sometimes we forget, or at least I have in my past. I've been sheltered from experiencing that, and now just kind of having that realization, and it really makes my heart break to know there are other families going through this exact same thing, and different tragedies, and wanting to find a way to reach them and reach out to them and be a support to them is something that my heart, and I think Alyssa's heart, is something that we will look for in the future, to see how we can minister to families and be there as a support system in the future. So yeah, progress is of course slower than, for Adeline it's been great. For Ellie, it feels slow, I should say. One of my good friends, Nate, was actually saying, a day feels like a year, and a year feels like a day. And although that's an oxymoron, it's true. These days have felt so long, yet when you look at, that it's only been 3 weeks since the accident, a little over 3 weeks, and to know the extent of the injuries and what progress has been made, sometimes you forget that there has been a lot of progress, positive progress, made by both these girls. And you kind of get stuck in that mode of it feels slow. So we're very excited. The respiratory therapist, they've been doing what's called a cough assist, and Ellie hates it. And basically, one of the respiratory therapists has said it's almost like a suffocation machine. It pressurizes the lungs and then depressurizes, and it kind of simulates a cough. and that's to get the secretions out and make sure she doesn't develop pneumonia. But for the last couple days she's been clear, and so it sounds like we're moving in the direction of getting rid of the cough assist, which has been up to 4 times a day. They just put it down to 3 times a day. She's still getting her breathing treatments with the steroid to help with the airway swelling. But it sounds like we're moving in the right direction with her cough assist too, which is great. And they've also reduced her Ativan and Clotidine and methadone and spaced all those out longer. So we're on our way to have her off all these medications as well. There's been some rough patches in the last couple weeks that we've talked about, but overall we're moving in the right direction, and you can start to see clarity in Ellie's eyes. It was a difficult thing to watch your child basically be on drugs. I mean, that's the best way I can explain it. And she kind of just drift off and look at balloons and other things and kind of just glaze over. And to see kind of more clarity in her eyes and to be able to kind of follow you and track you, to laugh at, you know, in context, has been such a, it is just lifted our spirits and our hearts to watch that. So thank you all. We've gotten lots of text messages, lots of support, lots of people telling us they're praying for us, and continue to pray. So we really appreciate everyone, and I believe that, you know, those prayers have moved mountains for these girls. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.